Welcome, brothers. I'm JK Amazy, head coach and founder of the Porn Reboot system. Thank you for joining me today. Now, the first thing I want to say is that if you've been watching these videos, if you enjoy them, if you love getting tips and tricks on how to end your out of control behavior, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can get notifications whenever I release videos. I release 4 videos a week consistently every week just for you guys. And one more thing, just so you know, there is enough content on this YouTube channel for you to end your out of control behavior. All you gotta do is go to the search bar and search for whatever topic you're looking for. Wife, girlfriend, relapse, porn-induced erectile dysfunction, depression, motivation, semen retention, whatever it is, we've got it here. And if you can't find it using the search bar, just go to our playlists and use our playlists, all right? So moving on, I received a question from a brother in the struggle from one of our groups, and this is one of those brothers, really nice guy, wants to be a good partner in his relationship, very caring and considerate. And he wanted to do the right thing. So one of the first things he did was he told his partner that he had this out of control behavior and he was beginning this journey with the Porn Reboot system and all our wonderful brothers in the program. And she was very supportive. She was supportive. She bought him a gift. She was so happy that he was doing this and that he was being honest about it. And all of that is great. Well, fast forward a few weeks or a few months later, and she's his accountability partner, and at one point he lets her know that he had relapsed, and he had relapsed to fantasizing about her. Now her response was like, okay, this is getting a little bit weird. So that's the type of energy she was giving out. And being the considerate guy that he is, he immediately backed away, told you this is a great guy, because he just doesn't want to make his partner uncomfortable. And he did the right thing. He came to the group and he was like, hey guys, I've always been told that honesty is the best policy when it comes to relationships, and that I should be honest and I should talk about my problems. So what seems to be the issue here? I don't want to mess up my relationship with my partner. So let me know in the comment section if you can relate to this situation. So I'm going to address it. The first thing I want to make absolutely clear is that on an ethical level, I believe that your partner should know if you are struggling with an out of control behavior with pornography. I know there are many of you out there who are scared to tell your partner, many of you who are hiding it. I just think it's an important thing ethically to tell your partner. And that's kind of where it ends for me when it comes to ethics. I'm now going to speak professionally on what I think about this. The first thing we need to address is what a lot of traditional counseling, therapy, 12 steps, and other methodologies and approaches think about the honesty approach. Now, I'm not speaking for all of them, but in my experience and in the experience of many of my clients who have reached out to me after working with therapists or counselors unsuccessfully, they've been told that honesty is the best policy, that you just need to tell your partner everything about your behavior, you just need to say it. But there's a problem with that. And the problem is that your partner may not be ready to hear everything. See, the problem I have with that is that it's only thinking about the man and assuming that you know what's going on with the woman. The assumption we have about the partner is that this is good for her. It's the right thing. She deserves to know the type of man that she's with. And the assumption for you, the man, is that you are doing the right thing. You are releasing yourself of that shame. You're relieving that pressure and that guilt that you've had about your out of control behavior. That's usually where it ends. But it doesn't take into account your relationship, how it's going to impact it, the mental health of your partner. What is going on in your relationship right now? Right? So I'm recording this around the COVID pandemic time. What if you guys are just dealing with some serious financial issues? What if there's some other strain in her relationship? What if she just lost her job and is dealing with some other issues? What if she has past mental health issues that she's still working on right now? And you telling her that, hey honey, I've been a porn addict for the past 7 years. What if this just uproots her entire world? What happens to your relationship? And I do know that there are some counselors who dive into this and talk about this, but for the most part, many men just have a tendency to just, I should be honest, I'm gonna do that. And we do that in a selfish way. Why? Because we just don't wanna feel the guilt anymore, right? We don't wanna feel guilty. So here's my take on it. Now, traditional therapists and counselors are usually taking a traditional view of it, which comes from honesty and trust is a key part of a relationship, which it is. I think they take that too literally in some cases. And a lot of them that follow the 12-step method also have a little bit of a religious undertone, even though they might say they're scientific, but if they're based on the 12-step or they're based on religion, there's going to be that religious undertone of, you've got to be honest. Like, you've got to be honest and it doesn't matter. No. Telling the truth always works out in the end. There are people who will tell you this. Like, it doesn't matter. The truth will set you free. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to kind of convolute or change the meaning of what truth means, right? Truth means truth. When we're talking about truth, ethically, like I said before, I believe that your partner should know about your behavior. That is my belief. That is what I did in my relationship. That is what I recommend to all my clients. The question is when and how. It must be done, but when and how. And we don't focus on this enough. So our take here at Porn Reboot and the Porn Reboot system is we look at the ethical aspect of it, and we also look at the biological aspect of it. So again, like I said, I already talked briefly about the ethical aspect, like what is she going through? If she's going through certain issues, my recommendation is that you continue with taking care of your behavior with a therapist, a counselor, a coach, a program, whatever you're doing. And when the time is right, have a conversation with your coach or your therapist about what is called disclosure, right? And you guys gotta plan this out. Any good coach or therapist that is worth their salt will sit down and have a full meeting with you about this. If you're in a group or you're talking to a coach or a no-fap influencer or somebody and they're like, bro, just be honest with her, just tell her, they're gonna fuck you over and fuck up your relationship. No, this is not something that you take lightly. You have to look at different aspects of your relationship and your relationship history, what your wife is like. There are a lot of things to look into. We won't get into that in this particular video. But that's the first thing, the ethical aspect. But what of the biological aspect? Now, a lot of men think it's absolutely okay, and counselors agree too, some counselors, that my partner can be my accountability partner as well. There are a few issues with this. And that's how this brother ended up in this situation. Now, your partner wants to be supportive of you. She wants to help you end your out of control behavior. She might, this isn't the case for everybody, she might appreciate the fact that you're coming to her with this. And on an emotional level, women are emotional creatures, not all, again, generalizing, but on an emotional level, this feels great. She wants to be able to support you in something. But the reality is, she doesn't know what she's getting into. The problem is she's too close to the problem. Your partner may be your friend, but she's not your guy friend. She's a friend that you're fucking. You're having sex with her, which means that inevitably, because you have a sexual problem, it is going to bleed into your life. At some point, she's gonna go like, well, maybe he doesn't find me attractive. Why did he watch that genre of pornography? She looks at your Covenant Eyes. By the way, Covenant Eyes is the sponsor of this video. And if you want to join Covenant Eyes, you can get 30 days free by going to covenanteyes.com and using the code REBOOT1 at checkout. So she gets on Covenant Eyes. She's your ally or your accountability partner. She looks at it and she goes like, okay, why is he watching this type of pornography? He isn't into me, he's into women of other ethnicities. She's gonna ask you and you're going to have to explain it, but you're probably not gonna do the best job of explaining it. You're making your life complex. She's too close to the problem, you're having sex with her. Now, if you have a male best friend or you're talking to another man who has struggled with this problem, he gets it. He understands and he's not gonna judge you for any of this. He may judge you, but he's not too close to the problem to get emotional about it because he's not having sex with you. That's the first problem. The second problem is that this is not what she signed up for. She might be excited about it. She might feel that she wants to help you, genuinely feel this, but she doesn't understand how long it's going to take you to end your out of control behavior. She doesn't understand how insidious those slips and relapses are. She doesn't understand the emotional highs and lows that you're going to be going through. She doesn't know that this is a legit addiction. And when she finds out that it's a legit addiction, she's going to do what women do almost every day. I get messages in my DMs and my inboxes from women who are frustrated. They love their man. They're like, I love him, he's a great guy, I want to be with him, but I don't get how he keeps slipping and relapsing. He says it's not about me, but he just keeps doing that, and our sex life is dying, and he keeps telling me about it, and I don't know what to do. This woman is done. Like, she's done. If she's reaching out desperately, not just like I would like some resources on how to help him, like she's like, what do I do? What do I do? She's reached her wit's end. And at some point, she's gonna sit down and go like, wait a minute, or her girlfriends are gonna tell her, girl, did you sign up for this? And she's gonna be like, no, I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, sure, there were gonna be tough times, but I didn't know I was signing up with this. This is like babysitting somebody, right? Your accountability partner is not gonna feel like it's babysitting because both of you are supporting each other, but she has other things going on in her life, right? So that's the second issue. She didn't sign up for this. The next and final issue is that this is going to reduce her attraction for you. When a woman starts seeing that you lack self-control, all right? Now, this isn't a bad thing. You've ended up with this compulsive behavior. Doesn't matter how you got there, but this is where you are. But again, she wants a man who has self-control. She doesn't want a man who's pouring his feelings out all the time. She doesn't want a man who is unreliable. What does unreliable mean? It means that she tells you, don't do this, right? I'm gonna set this boundary. And you're like, all right, baby, thank you so much for helping me. And then you're like, babe, I fucked up. I don't know how guys do it because I never had my partner as an accountability partner. I don't mean to laugh about it, but it is funny to me. I won't even lie. It is funny that a guy comes and tells his girlfriend, babe, I crossed the boundary, I bypassed covenant eyes, and I viewed pornography. Because I don't think it should go that far. Now, when guys come to me, I'm serious about it because it's affected them negatively. But I just don't think you should be there in the first place, guys. Like, just don't put yourself in that situation. You're gonna kill attraction. Your partner is gonna be like, I didn't sign up to be with a child who can't maintain boundaries. It's a turnoff. There were very specific qualities that made her attracted to you. And your inability to control your sexual behavior was not one of them. So these are the things that we need to consider biologically, right? You guys also are in a biological relationship. Sometimes we just get caught up in all this programming. Oh, my partner is my best friend. She's there for better or worse. She's the one who's with me in the house. Well, she's being affected by my sexual behavior because of my PIED. It only makes sense. She's the only one I can trust. This is all your responsibility. She's not the only one that you can trust. It's because you don't have the courage to step out of your shame and actually seek help. Oh, JK, I'm sending you this email because why haven't you joined our Facebook group? Oh, I'm not ready to be around men and all this stuff. Well, that's why you're having this issue with your partner, because you would rather mess up your relationship and be comfortable than come out and talk about your out of control sexual behavior because of your shame. You've got to make some courageous moves to save your relationship. So what's the solution to all of this? Again, this brother's dilemma was that his partner had been his accountability partner, and eventually she started thinking the behavior was weird. This is normal. I've seen it happen all the time. I've seen it happen to an extreme where the partner, female partner, becomes almost codependent. Like, she starts defending her partner. I've had women who have gotten on calls with me and they're like, oh no, that's just how he is. He's really vulnerable and he tells me these things and it's okay. Like, I'm gonna keep supporting him. We're gonna take it day by day. And she keeps saying all these things and I'm just like, ma'am, you guys keep having these problems. You're in this unhealthy relationship. You're not having sex. In some cases, you're not even sleeping together. You feel he's lying all the time. You get super upset. And then he tries to get some help, but when he tries to get some help, you defend him. You're just like, no, it's okay, we can still do it together. If you're in an unhealthy relationship like that, you need to take a step away. You need to get on a call with me or with one of my Reboot specialists. That's a story for another day. All these video ideas, we'll talk about that too. If you're in a situation like that, please drop your question in the comment section. But what can you do to change this? Well, what you can do is, it's important to redefine the rules of your relationship, the values and principles that you have as a man, specifically when you're in a relationship. And one of them is the rules and values you have around your partner supporting you. I don't think there's anything wrong with your partner supporting you. However, I don't think your partner needs to support you in everything that you do. In my opinion, and you don't have to agree with this, a healthy relationship is made up of two awesome people doing awesome things. They come together, they find out like, hey, there's a part of our life, or many aspects of our life, that just gel so well together, and it makes the quality of our life and our time together on this planet even better. So let's go on this journey together. But you're still individuals, awesome individuals that came together. And y'all didn't become awesome at random. Y'all became awesome because you guys had your own support groups. You guys had your own journeys that you went on. You guys did all those things on yourself. Coming together doesn't mean that all your resources have to come together. You can still be individuals and be very much in love and on this journey. I'm a coach. I believe that you are the best expert at yourself, so you don't have to take on any of my values. This is something that I believe personally, and it's helped many relationships. It's helped my relationship as well, and it's been a great guide for men who have these sort of issues in their relationship. So as you go through the reboot process, brothers, it's very helpful to re-examine some of these beliefs. And I also want you to know that at the end of the day, there are many men out there who are looking for a good accountability partner. If you feel guilty and you feel bad that you're not telling your partner about your out of control behavior, every detail, then that's a problem. I recommend you get on a call with one of our team members to just talk about that and see if there's any way that we can help you, or at the very least join our Facebook group. But if you haven't told your partner at all about your behavior and it's affecting your relationship negatively, please stop beating about the bush, right? Just have the conversation with her. And I know you guys are in some weird situations. Some of you already told your partner you had it under control, and then, well, it wasn't under control anymore. And now you're just terrified of telling her that. Well, remember that awesomeness I talked about? Well, it's no longer awesome when one of you is hiding so much. Again, we have a concept in the On Reboot system called the Reboot Circle. And the Reboot Circle, the concept is very simple. Instead of offloading everything to one partner, one of the things you can do is you can have different people in this circle who you can disclose different parts of your behavior to. The goal being that once the circle is completed with different people in your life, your counselor, your pastor, a very close friend, me, guys in the Porn Reboot group, whatever the case may be, a 12-step group, whatever you're in, that when the circle is completed, you've shared everything. There's nothing to hide. So there's no rule, there's no set rule that says that your partner needs to know everything. And I understand this is a topic that some of you may have a lot of resistance to. Again, I'm curious to hear your questions. I'm open to having a dialogue about it. Go ahead and ask me your questions in the comment section below. But I hope you found this video helpful. I'm JK, your brother in the struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I release 4 videos a week. Again, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll speak to you later on in the week. Take care.